Alright guys, what's up man? It's your boy Kbandz, Kbandz Gaming. Wanted to make another video. The crazy thing is I already made this video. I literally had a whole 25-minute video, unedited, but 25-minute video of me talking about how to make your character overpowered, explaining everything from character stats, tiers of substats, runes, and non-enhanceable gear. And my dummy, or dumbass, whatever, you know, either way, my dumbass had my mic on mute the entire time for 25 minutes straight. So, gotta redo it. It is what it is. So, if you pay attention to these things that I'm gonna talk about, you'll have a very powerful character. If anything, an overpowered character. So, let's get right into it. So, first thing I wanted to talk about was character stats, right? And character stats is when you press the start menu and you hold down RT. You see right there to your right, it says character stats. Now, the one thing I do hate about this is for some reason the stats are always like changing on its own. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's like a glitch within the game. You know, that's something that the developers need to look into. But I don't like. I've even seen these stats change in front of my face. So I don't know how accurate they are towards your character, but they're always within the same range, right? So for like right now, it says my health is 5680. It's usually 5400. So yeah, I don't know why it changes, but my attack is usually around the same, or actually my attack is usually 1870 or something like that, and my defense is usually 78%, not 77, and my critical hit rate is usually 6%, not 5, and then that is my critical hit damage. It's always 158, so at least that's good. But yeah, so even if you know you see it fluctuating, it's usually around, you know, it's never like a huge gap or whatever. But let's get right into it. So character stats are probably the most important thing you want to focus on in this game. I know everybody talks about gear score. You know, gear score is super important. Definitely true. Gear score is important, more than your level is. But then even beyond that is your character stats, because your character stats is what makes you powerful, obviously. So if you look here, you're probably wondering why, you know, for at least for the newbies, why 4 out of the 5 character stats are green. And what that means is that those stats have an additional, I guess you could say, buff to them, right? Now with your character stats, you can't decrease. You can't decrease. So if, like, you see right there where it says attack 1889, it's white. It doesn't mean that I'm losing attack power. It just means that I don't have any additional attack power. But if it's green, it shows that you have an additional buff to that character stat. Okay, so what you really want to go for is you want to have all of these green. Okay, you want to have all of these green, or at least the majority of them, like 4 out of 5 for sure, right? And depending on how you want to play, do you want to be super tanky? You can focus on defense. Do you want to be a crazy DPS character, you know, with, you know, crazy amounts of damage? You can focus on attack and critical hit damage and critical hit rate, you know, whatever it is, however it is that you want to have your character, right? Me, I like more of having an overall amazing character, kind of like on like the LeBron James of Bless, I guess you want to say. But you want to have, me personally, I want to have my character just be, you know, well-rounded. So you want to have all your stats green pretty much. I remember before, my defense used to be 65%. Got it all the way up to 78. My critical hit rate used to be 1. Now I got it up to 6. Like I said, it sells 5 now, but it's usually 6. And then my critical hit damage was like 110, 20. And I'm talking from like the beginning of the game. you know, how much I've progressed in my character stats. Now to almost 160% in critical hit. And critical hit damage for me as a mage, I'm a mage. My critical hit damage is super important because I can activate guaranteed critical hit at any given time. Well, not any given time. Whenever my cooldown. Okay, my controller's acting up. So right now, right here, using the amplify ability, I can guarantee critical hits for a couple seconds, which is amazing. So critical hit damage is very important for my character. So that's something you wanna, for you mages out there. So critical hit damage is definitely something you should focus on. So yeah. And so like I said, I remember having a defense of 64%, 65, got it up to 78, almost 80% on a mage character, which is amazing. Like I know there's people out there that are berserkers and I have higher defense than them, you know. So definitely something that's the thing is too, is that like with a mage, every time I would get hit, I would get smacked one time, and next thing you know, like half my health or like a good majority of my health is getting taken away, and I hated it. Hate the feeling of running around and, you know, you have so much health loss from getting hit one time, so you gotta like really be hit on your toes, you know. It's better to have your defense really high, so you can, you know, go into any fight feeling more confident, you know. You can slip up a little more and, you know, be less tense and not have to worry about getting hit every now and then and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's definitely why I wanted to focus on my defense on my character and on critical hit damage, and also on HP as well, because I feel like HP goes along with defense, because the more HP you have, you know what I mean, the lower the percentage I feel is going to be taken away when you do get hit. And then I feel that also factors in with your percentage of defense, so it definitely goes together. Now for me to have the stats that I have, it all comes down to your gear, which also in turn comes down to your gear score, right? So again, gear score is important, but overall your character stats is what's the most important, right? Because gear score is a given. From you leveling up, from you progressing in the game, your gear score will go up on its own. That's a given. From you fortifying, it's gonna go up on its own. But your character stats is something you have to pay attention to. It's what's gonna make or break your character. It's what is gonna define your character, honestly. Like you can't just be throwing stuff on your character just because it has a higher gear score. It's stupid. Don't do that. You need to look at the stats, right? You need to look at the substats of your gear, because those substats of your gear is what's gonna boost your character stats overall. If you don't know what a substat is, or what I mean by substat is when you go into an item, as you can see right here, Wand of the Forgotten, the substat right there in the bottom in blue, it says equipment effect. Right? It increases max HP of 605, and you're probably wondering, why do I have two of these? Right? The reason why I have two of these is because this one that I have equipped is the one that I've had for a very long time. Right? This is the one that I've had for a very long time, and it had max HP of 605. Awesome, right? Then out of nowhere recently, I found this one, and it wasn't fortified. I've been fortifying it myself slowly, all the way up to level 4 right now. And if you haven't seen my video on how to properly enhance your gear the correct way, the correct strategy, so you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that are literally getting frustrated or getting PO'd because of not being able to fortify their gear properly. They're spending a lot of star seeds. As you can see, I have almost 600,000 star seeds. I don't you know, lose sleep over fortifying. So if you guys need help with that, you guys can watch my other video. I'll link it down in the description or somewhere on this video. All right, back on track. I got this wand. It wasn't fortified. But the reason I kept it, either way I would have kept it, so I can use it as a duplicate to fortify, so I could go to the common enhancement to fortify and not waste star seeds. But then again, I saw the substat and I was like, oh shit, increases max HP 821. It's a huge difference from 605. So what I did was I kept it and started fortifying it slowly behind the scenes, while still having my other wand equipped, because it still has a higher attack, it still has a higher gear score. So until I get this wand at the same fortification level as the one that I have equipped, it's gonna stay like that. All right, I mean, until I have this up to level 5 fortification, it's gonna stay right there. I'm not equipping it yet. Once I get it to level 5 plus 5, then I'll equip it. And then the second one, since it's bound to me and I can't sell it, I'm gonna use it as a duplicate for trying to get the one that was forgotten to purple, using the common enhancer. Right. So that's what I mean by looking at the substat. Okay, just don't see some gear and think because it has a higher gear score and higher attack only, or or higher defense than your current equipped gear, means that it's better. It doesn't at all. You need the most important thing is looking at that substat, because that substat is what's gonna give you a buff in your character stats overall. Okay, so for me to have my max HP, I think I only have one item that does that as of right now. Yep. Alright, so yeah, so that's the only thing I have increasing my HP, but it's such a huge increase that it's okay for me to have one item focus on increasing my max HP, especially when my defense is very, very strong. All right, so now we go to this defense. All right, okay, so right here, defense, right? I have, I think, 3 pieces of gear that gives me a substat of increasing my defense, which is why I have such a high defense percentage on my character stats. I have 1, 2, do that. So plus 741 right there, right? And I can't enhance this. You're probably wondering, why do you have a secondary weapon that can't even be enhanced? I'll get to that in a minute. All right, and then 741. Then my robe is 890, increases defense 894. So that was 2 items, right? And then my shoulder guards increases my defense by plus 945. That's like almost 3,000 points worth of increased defense, or like 2,500 worth of increased defense, which is insane. So when I get hit, I don't even really get worried. I get hit and it's I eat those. That's pretty much how I feel when I'm in a dungeon or facing a bunch of monsters or whatever. I eat those. I eat it. I don't really have to worry about or walk on tippy toes fighting these big monsters. If anything, you'll rarely ever see me go down. I rarely go down. I'm usually picking other people up, honestly. Not to toot my own horn, but that's usually what happens. Okay, so if you want to have your character just like that, focus on the defense. Substats are super important. All right. And then what was the my defense, right? And then my critical hit rate. My critical hit rate. Oh man. Our critical hit rate is 5. It's supposed to be 6. I know it's because of my ring. A critical hit rate of plus 4. Damage. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it says. I have no idea. I have a critical hit rate of +4 here, and then it's my crit rate is usually at a 6 over here. So I don't know where the extra 2%, but hey, whatever, I'm not gonna complain. But either way, see right here, I have a ring, right? That gives me critical hit rate of +4. This brings me into my next topic, which is runes. A lot of people don't even know what these runes are, what they mean, what they're for. Like they don't even care. They'll pick up gear and not even think about the rune. And next thing you know, you're technically screwing yourself over in the long run because of it, right? And I'll give you a perfect example. So right here, I have critical hit rate 4%. It's gray, right? And it says 2 for 1, or 2 out of 1. I guess you could say 2 because I have 2 of the silver or gray runes right there, right? And I only need 1 to have this activated. Now, right here, I'm planning on switching the Wand of the Forgotten +5 that I have right here to the second one once I have it fully fortified, because it has an increased max HP of 821, right? But as you can see right here, look at the bottom, it shows a gray rune. As soon as I unequip that rune and I put this rune here, it's gonna take it away from here. It's gonna say 1 for 1, okay? Which is fine, I can do that. So increasing my max HP isn't gonna hurt me. I'll be able to increase my max HP and not take away my critical hit rate of +4%, because I still have the required rune amount to have this substat active. Somebody else will not even realize this and switch your gears, and next thing you know, now you gained in one area of your character stats and now you lost in another. You want to keep both of them, right? So that's something that you really want to pay attention to. So I really hope this helps a lot of people, because I know there's a lot of people out here playing this game and they're at level 30 and they still don't even know half of these things. Like, you know what I mean? I go on streams, I watch people on Mixer, and I'm not the type of I don't want to seem like the know-it-all or anything like that, but I love to help people in games, you know? Like, I see a lot of people streaming this game, and I'll go into the chat and like give them advice and stuff, you know? And then they're like, oh wow, man, I never knew that, you know? So I definitely hope this helps you guys. Now, for the last thing I wanted to talk about was the non-enhanceable gear. You're probably looking at my secondary weapon like, what is this idiot doing with a non-enhanceable secondary weapon? Like, you can't even increase it. You can't increase its gear score. You can't increase its defense. Like, what are you doing? Same thing with my waist. Like, wow, this idiot over here still has a C grade. He's level 27. He still has a C grade belt, and it can't even be fortified. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're missing out on gear score and defense, so blah blah blah. Well, here's the thing, like I said in the beginning of this video, your character stat, which comes from your substats of your gear, is more important than your gear score and more important than your level. All right, your level and your gear score is what you should be worried about after your substats and character stats. Because like I said in the beginning of the video, your substats and character stats, I'm gonna stop saying both of them together, because your substats is what creates your character stats. So I'm gonna just say character stats. Your character stats is what makes or breaks your character. It is what makes your character overpowered. Okay? You can worry about the gear score later. It's a given. It's gonna happen regardless. Okay, so let's start with the secondary weapon right here. This secondary weapon is freaking amazing. Amazing. And I have yet to find a better secondary weapon. Yes, I have seen other secondary weapons that are enhanceable. Of course, I could go to the marketplace right now and get one. But guess what? all the secondary weapons for my mage in the marketplace, they're all enhanceable, but the substat sucks. Why would I replace this secondary weapon for another secondary weapon that's enhanceable, but the substat sucks? And I take away my 741 for some stupid substat that decreases my mana costs by every time I concentrate or some dumb shit like that, right? So for example, like, let's go in here real quick just to show you guys for an example. If I go to, actually stupid, wand, again stupid, offhand weapon, magic orbs, right? Let's go to the blue, do this, right? Concentrate restores an additional 4.45%, 8% mana. Don't care. Concentrate. Don't care. Attack power is increased, which, oh, that sounds nice. That's great, right? By 3.6%, or it's a 6.4% for 7 seconds. Hell yeah! Upon using concentrate. Don't care. Using concentrate restores an additional, don't care. Anything, look at that, and it's 41,000 freaking star seeds, or 42,000 star seeds. And that's it. That's it. Potion healing, that's it. What's this one? Concentrate, that's it. There is nothing here, and then these are A's. Still using concentrate. Super whack. You know why I hate this substat, the concentrate substat? Because there's no need. I don't use substat. I don't use concentrate during a fight. You think I'm gonna stand here and do this during a battle where I can't move? It's stupid. Just to increase my mana. If you know how to do combinations, right, there's no reason why you should be running out of mana. And even if you do run out of mana, then you should be able to just use your amplify ability, which restores your mana all the way to 100% anyway. So there's no reason why you should even be wasting a substat on your character for concentrate. Super whack. So that's why this one, even though it's not enhanceable, it is the best secondary weapon that I'm probably ever gonna have until I start, you know, reaching A grade type of gear. So I'm for sure gonna have this secondary weapon for a very, very long time. Now for the last one, the C grade. Why the hell do I have a C grade? Okay, the reason why is because, again, it's the substat. I don't care that it can't be enhanced. I really don't. Will I eventually get a belt that is enhanceable and has the same substat right there? Because remember, for me, I want to keep the substats that I have. I just want to get better substats. I want to get better numbers in the same substat. So for example, just because I find another belt with a higher gear score doesn't mean I'm going to switch it out. If I find it, you know, higher gear score, higher defense, doesn't mean I'm going to switch it out. But if I find it with a higher defense, higher gear score, and it has the same critical hit damage substat but a higher percentage, then for sure I will switch it. That is the only time I will switch it. That's the only time that makes sense. If I want to keep my substats like this in the green, I want my character to still be, you know, hitting critical hit damages of high percentages, critical hit rates, you know, all that. You know, focus on what you want on your character, and then you'll be able to level up those pieces of gear with the same substats. So like I said, with the belt, I'm not getting another belt unless I see another critical hit damage belt with a higher percentage. And here's the thing, little tip for you guys. When you go here, you go to the marketplace, I already know the name because I have it written down, but it's called it's called the Belt of Ancient Eternity, right? Which gives you critical hit damage. So let's go to belts. Yeah, it's never available. But now I know if I get it in a drop, I know once I see it in my bag, I'm keeping that sucker. I'm keeping that baby. Right? It's right here. So I have this written down. This is the belt I'm looking for. This is what you guys should be doing too, looking for specific gear. Don't just add on whatever. Alright? Please let me know how many times I've said alright in this video. Count it and like and write it down below. It's like my thing. I always say alright. But yeah, as you can see right here, Belt of Ancient Eternity has the same substat. Increases critical hit damage from 9.6% to 17.4%. Now, of course, if I get this same belt, and it gives me the same substat of 11.6, will I switch it to this? Of course, because it can be fortified. If I get it at 9.6, which is the okay, 11.6. If I get it at 9.6, if I get it at 9.6, would I switch it over? Now this is a personal question, because are you willing to lose 2% of critical hit damage? Honestly, to be able to fortify it all the way, I probably would. Or maybe I would just keep it and wait to get another Belt of Ancient Eternity and see if you get another higher substat. But all up to you. That's all. For the focus of this video is that this is what you should be focusing on. You should be focusing on these substats. It's super important. But Lord knows that if I get this belt at 17.4%, I'm keeping this baby. Keeping it forever. Alright? Be super overpowered, bro. Super overpowered. Be awesome. Super awesome. I get that. If I get 17, I'll be adding like, what, 6%? Which means that from 158, I'll be at like 164%. Like, that's insane. Super insane. Oh, and then, where is it? Gloves. Right here, there's, damn, is it the gloves? No, it was, shoot, no, boots. Right here I have increases max stamina, 5.2. I just wanted to give my character a nice little buff of speed, because you know running in this game sucks. But now that I have the blink ability and I'm able to get out of situations really fast and frequently because of this, I don't really have to worry about this. So I actually might switch these boots of the seer with boots that will increase my attack power. Why would I want to do that? Because my attack power is the only substat that's okay. See, oh man, I caught this on video. My attack was just white. Why did it increase? This is what I'm talking about. Developers need to fix that. My stats are all over the place, but they're ranged, and you know they're not. It's not a huge gap, but whatever. Let's pretend that the attack is white, right? I want to see. I said right again. If I want to increase my attack, I'm gonna go to the glove. What boots? It was boots. Right now I have boots of the seer. Right, increases max stamina. But if I want to increase my attack power, okay. Here we go. It was these right here. Ooh, man. Okay, so obviously, so now I know that I want to get either the Grand Seer's boots, which that'll probably be later on when I'm starting to get more frequent A grade gear. You see right there, increases attack power 439 to 530. Replacing my max stamina substat with this and added 400 or 500 attack power, amazing. That's right there. I'll get even more powerful. That's how you get overpowered, guys. Right there. Or right there for right now, since I'm not, able to get A grade gear yet, I can focus on getting these Scryer's boots. Right, if I had one at 230 something, I actually might get it back just in case I decide to keep it. But if I can get, look, up to 300 attack power and switch it for my max stamina, which I really don't have to focus on anymore because I use blink, not losing. I'm only getting better. Let's see if I can retrieve those boots. Nope, someone bought them already. Oh, no, they're right here. Oh, they're gloves. Attack power of 236.
This is a
yeah, I'm not giving up my critical hit damage. 16 point, yeah, not happening. So I'll probably switch it out for some boots. But yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to do. Wow, this video took way longer than I thought it would take. But I really hope that this video helped a lot of you guys and really gave you guys an explanation on, you know, on character stats, how important it is. Substats, right? The substats, super important. And runes and non-enhanceable gear. Oh, and the last thing. This will be quick. You also want to make sure there's different tiers. There's different tiers of substats, which I guess it's obvious because right here I have Wand of the Forgotten 605. Max HP here 821. Okay, that's something you really want to focus on. If you find a piece of gear that's higher than yours by a significant amount, not by a little, if it's like 50, 10 point whatever, then don't even worry about it. But if it's like a significant amount, 200, 300 or more, then that's something that you may want to keep in your bag and fortify it and then replace it later on, because it's going to make you better. It's going to make you more powerful as a character. So really focus on those substats. Same thing when you go to the marketplace. When you go to the marketplace and you see those substats, make sure you're getting the better substat, because that's what's more important. I will gladly pay more star seeds for a piece of gear that has a better substat. Okay, so definitely. So that's it, guys. This video took way longer than it was supposed to. I really hope that I helped a lot of people in this game really understand how to have or create an overpowered character. Again, if you guys don't understand how to enhance properly, I created a video on that. I'll leave it in the description or somewhere on this video you can click on. And that's it, man. So follow me on Mixer, where I stream as much as I can. And that's it, man. Enjoy the blessed grind. I'll holler at you guys. Peace.